Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy. So our story continues with Trunks and Goku standing across from one another. This Trunks, of course, from an entirely new timeline, where he underwent the exact same journey as Ultra Vegito, but just completely alone. As with his very own God Killer blade extended outwards, he would suddenly challenge Goku in hopes of gauging his power. As looking on at our hero with a smile, the time traveler would let out with his shimmering green seraphim on show. I've spent decades fighting warriors of incredible power. Yamoshi, Guts, even Zeno's royal guards. You faced them too, Goku. But I have to say, nothing's got me more excited than this moment right here. I have to wonder if my father's blood is running through me, triggering this feeling. But I have to find out if the rumors about you are really true. As Goku, embracing his primal Saiyan thirst for battle, would only be able to smile back, as he would respond, No, I can definitely sense Vegeta in you, alright. That look on your face is like a spitting image, and if you're anything like the one I know, I might just let you down. But we'll see for ourselves, won't we, Trunks? Question is, who makes the first move? And for a moment, their two eyes would deadlock in all seriousness. Not a breath uttered, let alone a twitch of their muscles, as they would carefully examine one another until... I guess elders go first! As Goku, breaking the silence, would then instantaneously rush forward at full speed, his movement now on an entirely new level after gaining his green seraphim form. You asked for this, Trunks! As cocking back his fist, clenched as tight as can be, almost as tight as his bared teeth, Goku would be ready to give Trunks his first taste of Son Goku. And within moments, the Saiyan's fist would already be inches from Trunks' face. But curiously, there would be no change in expression, no reaction, and seemingly no attempt to stop it. As Goku, seeing this, would immediately then come to a sudden stop. His fist now dangled right in Trunks' eyeline as the unblinking younger Saiyan would stare forward, with his arms down by his side, and even his Godslayer blade retracted as if he had completely given up. And with Trunks looking back at the frozen Goku, he would simply ask, "What's wrong, Goku? Is this what you meant by letting me down?" As Goku, looking back puzzled, would just mutter, "No, you just didn't do anything. Why? Why wouldn't you try to move?" As a smirking back Trunks almost humored by the situation, would then respond, "It's not that I didn't want to. It's that I didn't need to, Goku. I read your feelings as you attacked. I knew you would stop before even you did. If you're going to fight me, you better fight me to kill, Goku." Oh, so that's how it is. As Goku, now feeling a sense of reverse deja vu, would then land back and comment smiling, "Now you're really reminding me of the first time I met Trunks. Are you sure you're not the same one?" As Goku, now lifting his left arm up, fist clenched again, would then look forward and finish, "Well, if that's how you want it, then this time I won't be stopping. Got it, Trunks? Don't say I didn't warn you." And with that, in somewhat extremely nostalgic fashion, Trunks would then raise a lone finger up in front of his face, and looking straight through it like the eye of a needle with his piercing green eyes, would then say, "Don't worry, I can tell you won't disappoint me this time." As suddenly coating his lone figure in a lone yellow Saiyan aura, the Trunks from a new timeline would seemingly finally be ready to defend against Goku. Now you're really asking for it, Trunks! As Goku, now finally not holding anything back, would flip a switch and rush straight back in. All the while, Trunks, like a statue, would remain with his one finger raised. And within moments, an assault of punches would be thrown at light speed, at every angle and from every direction. But as we would peer closer into the skirmish, though Trunks would be moving this time to defend, in a stunning scene, all he would be using to defend would be his finger alone. His seraphim eyes not losing track for a second, able to see each and every one of Goku's attacks as if they were in slow motion. But regardless, all of this would culminate in Goku pulling back and launching one final punch with pure vigor, as his screams would shake up the entire planet. That's the way, Goku! As continuing with a smile, Trunks would almost provoke the Saiyan, maintaining his one finger response. As on final impact, a poignant freeze frame of Godkiller Trunks standing tall amidst the vicious fist of Goku would be seen. And in that very brief moment, the slightest signs of his finger bending and giving away, but not fully, would be observed, ultimately resulting in a giant explosion of power, shockwaving through the lands as the two Seraphim powerhouses made contact. But from the explosion, Goku would emerge jumping back. But as he would do so, a grin would emerge too, as Goku, more impressed than anything, would let out, "Well, those eyes are the real deal, that's for sure, Trunks. As I thought, one clone's worth of energy won't be enough. I'll need more to keep up." As just like that, Goku would then immediately close his eyes, entering some kind of momentary meditation, not uttering a single word. Goku! Leaving the alternate timeline Trunks to be nothing short of confused, as he would watch on eagerly at what his father's old friend would be doing now. As suddenly, now in his own thoughts, surrounded in a mysterious energy that would seemingly begin to grow larger and larger, more intense as time would go on. Goku would be thinking internally, I know I have a universe to save, but this should only take a couple minutes. I should probably deactivate half of the 1,000 multiforms I made. Me at half my power should be enough for this guy. Hopefully. The 500 should all be on planets they've just saved anyway. And now their energy can return back to me. As unbelievable, with Goku's newfound immense ki control behind him, various multiforms of Goku scattered all across the universe would then be seen, sitting down with their eyes closed, each taking a break as their life force returns back to the original, all for the purpose of fighting Trunks. As suddenly letting out a faint giggle, along with bursting open his eyes, Son Goku would finally be ready, as strangely his green seraphim eyes would now begin to glow wildly, as if overflowing with a newfound energy. But just as fast as this smirk would appear, so too would his mannerism completely change, as if by force. As staggering his stance and tensing his muscles, Goku would be overcome with energy exploding out of each of his pores until... with a two-tone yell of dominance, Goku's entire body, save for his green eyes, would become an embodiment of pure energy for a second, as he would power up uncontrollably. Goku! Leaving Trunks to be stunned as witness, as his long purple hair would be forced to be blown back, as with wide eyes he would stare forward and wonder, what just happened here? I thought he might have been holding back, but how high did his power level just jump? Where was he hiding this? But there wouldn't be too much time to think in the end, as just moments after this power-up, Goku's entire presence would vanish as if by instant transmission. I got carried away with my thoughts. Where did he go? Leaving Trunks, even with his all-seeing vision of his seraphim, to panic as he would look around wondering where his Saiyan opponent could possibly be. Goku! As appearing out of nowhere, right under the nose of Trunks, mid-velocity, Goku would reappear and slam his fist directly onto the jaw of Trunks for devastating impact, with this time no room for Trunks' finger to defend. Sending the completely taken by surprise time traveler to fly backwards in disrepair as his flowing locks would battle with the wind. Before of course eventually reaching his expected stop, skidding across the ground by his feet as he would spread his arms wide apart. As staring straight forward now, with a look of gravity, a line of blood would run down his chin, as we would all then see all of Goku's newfound improvement. As Trunks would think to himself, whatever he did, looks like the Goku my father told me about has finally come out to play. Before smirking in typical Saiyan arrogance, Trunks would then just wipe away the blood and continue. And he packs a punch, that's for sure. I haven't been hit that hard in a while. I almost forgot what real pain could feel like. Let's just see if you can make me feel it again. As this time, now both thinking the same, both would fly straight at each other with full power. Their bodies coated in white aura, as Trunks would once again bring out his God Slayer blade. As Goku, only noticing now, would immediately dodge as Trunks would swipe his blade, with the Saiyan commenting, "That move, I just figured it out. You really are the god killer of your timeline." But that just means I know how to counter all your moves. What? As in an unexpected response, Goku's reply would be to roundhouse kick the hand of Trunks away, rendering his blade near harmless. Following up with a rapid ki blast that just misses Trunks by inches as he would jump straight out of the way. More, Goku! You need to show me more! But as Trunks' gaze would deepen to the point trails of electrical energy would spout from his green seraphim, he would rush back forward with intensity to land a crushing elbow right on Goku's vulnerable side, right across his cheek, as his entire face would concave inwards, sending him careering off into the opposite direction. But he wouldn't be sent moving for long, before fairly quickly he would stop in his tracks upside down, as his hair would flow with the current of gravity. And as he would look back at Trunks from his awkward position with a smile, he would almost lecture the younger Saiyan, "That was a good one, I gotta say, Trunks. But you gotta learn to follow through. You never know what your opponent's next move will be." Confusing the time traveler briefly, as more miffed than educated, would just respond, "Whatever you say, Goku. But it looks to me like you're the one on the back foot in this scenario. Though, if you want more, be my guest." But just as Trunks would rush forward again with his God Slayer blade in hand, Goku would make good on his teachings and instantly use an unseen tree behind him to press his feet against before pushing off at light speed, a grimace on his face as he would clasp his fists tightly together into one palm and with tremendous power, he would strike and completely outspeed the younger Saiyan, slamming both arms right onto Trunks' face with nothing held back. Seemingly ending the battle there and then, as Trunks' near-lifeless body would then fall to the ground to crash land on his backside. Told you! You asked for it, Trunks! As Goku, watching on from above, thoroughly pleased with himself, would then just comment, "I guess that's enough for now. You did well, Trunks, as expected of Vegeta's son." Before then descending down slowly to the ground, as Trunks would inversely make his way back up onto his feet, his head ducked down until... "This battle hasn't even begun, clown!" As suddenly revealing a truly devilish face, taking the lingo of his father Vegeta, while truly channeling his reputation as the God Killer just like Vegito. An entirely new side of Trunks would be witnessed honest. Whoever this Saiyan was, it was nothing like the Trunks we had come to know. See you soon. As instantly out of nowhere, opening a time portal behind himself, like a demonic ghost, with just his eyes and grin on show, Trunks would then fade into the darkness, before the portal would collapse in on itself, leaving Goku behind confused at what Trunks was even doing. Huh? Trunks! Wait a second! I have more questions for you! And in panic, Goku would not be worried about whether this was some kind of ploy before an attack, but instead would naively think that Trunks had escaped without telling him more about his timeline's demise. But as Goku would yell, unbeknownst to him, a strange pink material would begin sprouting from the soil. A strange pink material that could only resemble one certain margin Boo. As suddenly shooting up to his feet and hands. Wait, what? Instantly triggering Goku's shock, but alas, it would be one too many seconds late. Damn, he got me! As standing upright, almost chained into place, Goku would be well and truly had. As looking to the pink Boo Goo and immediately recognizing it, Goku would comment, "Can't say I expected you to have such control over this technique too, but I forget, you really are a clone of Vegito. Incredible, Trunks." As emerging once more from a time portal with one leg reaching out, the voice of the God Killer Trunks would be heard saying back smugly, "Thanks, Goku. It means a lot coming from you." No problem. As Goku, watching on smiling like a fool, would just stare as the time-traveling Trunks would then continue to walk forwards towards him, and mysteriously, still with a Godslayer blade activated. But Goku, not noticing this, would instead ask, Trunks? You gonna let me go or what? I don't know what you did to Boo, but this grip is tight. It's starting to hurt." But soon, even with all Goku's words, Trunks would eventually be face to face with the Saiyan, silent, and still with that same Godslayer blade in hand. As mysteriously, then beginning to crouch down, and with an aura beginning to coat his entire body as he would slowly power up, Trunks would casually just reveal, "It was nice meeting you, but the legends were false. It seems the time ring led me astray, because this timeline is as doomed as mine. Goodbye, Son Goku." What? What are you doing? Instantly shocking Goku as his adrenaline would begin to pump. As in a panic state, he would stare at Trunks yelling in complete disbelief as he would continue, "You won! I give up, Trunks! I'll save this timeline, with or without..." But these final defiant words would seemingly mean nothing to the new God Killer. Swiftly turning 180 degrees in a literal flash, Trunks' blade would cut through the air and ultimately cut through the still trapped Son Goku, leaving our hero stunned in the face, just muttering, "Trunks! Why?" before ultimately coughing out blood as the damage to his internal organs would then rush up his body. But still reeling in shock, Goku would be groaning as he looks down. This was a friendly warm-up. You're not Trunks. You're... What is that? But when Goku would look up and see the backside of Trunks in front of him, what he would see would shock him to his very core, paralyzing him in fear to the point he could no longer even focus on his pain. As standing there now with red seraphim eyes, Trunks would appear with a sinisterly familiar demon right behind him. A glimpse into what darkness exists within this version of Trunks, the God Killer, which by coincidence would resemble almost exactly the same monster observed within Vegito last chapter, as Trunks would coldly reply, "Friendly? That's funny, because I remember telling you to fight to kill." As on finishing that line, immediately Goku's now separated body would then give up and collapse to the ground, as Trunks would retract his Buu confinement simultaneously. And with Goku now completely in base and running out of blood and energy, he would continue the conversation muttering as blood would gush out of his mouth. "True, but I didn't expect you to go that hard. I didn't even get to show you everything I had. Damn, that ruthless side to you is definitely from Vegeta." To which Trunks, looking down coldly, would just respond, "I know you didn't show me everything. That's half the reason I decided to teach you a lesson. I hate when people hold back. This could have been a whole lot funner if you hadn't. But I got the gist of your power, Son Goku. Now quit being dramatic. Your body is made of Buu just like mine. It's already reattaching as we speak." As Goku laughing now, once we zoom out, would prove this to be completely true, as both ends of his body would slowly begin pulling each other back together, which Goku would then say, "Sure, but I had to make sure you feel bad somehow." And soon enough, Goku's once severed torso would be completely reattached once more, and good as new. And after some time, Goku would then collect himself up from the ground, and eventually find himself sitting on a lone rocky stump on the ground, reflecting on the battle he just had with Trunks, saying with a smile now, "To tell you the truth, I was only using half my energy there, but that last move of the time ring and using Buu to stop me from the ground, I'm not sure I would have been fast enough to counter anyway. You're good, Trunks. You're great. I know your timeline isn't in the best condition, but I'm glad. At least you managed to find strength, even in that situation. It gives me hope." Before Goku would then look directly at Trunks and try to discuss just what had happened earlier, continuing, "But I have to ask, what I saw just then, that thing inside you, what was that? You told me you let out Lucif to beat Dai, just like we did. So what gives?" And Trunks in response solemnly, with his arms folded and eyes closed, would then let out a sigh before replying, "So you noticed. I guess over time, it's only gotten more obvious. What I said to you was true, but unfortunately, what you saw was something left behind. A part of Lucif that was left behind within me." As suddenly opening his eyes again to reveal his red seraphim once more, Trunks' bombshell would continue, "It's something I learned only recently, and a part of the reason I've come here is to figure out if the same exists within Vegito." As on mentioning of the real God Killer's name, the scene would suddenly shift to a sight of the fused Saiyan, walking through the volcanic lands of Sector 6, smirking, as in his hands, the deceased and decapitated head of the Ginyu demon would be seen. Clearly taken straight off the minute the demon had given Vegito the information he needed. "Here, a little housewarming gift." As with his grin widening, he would callously throw the lifeless skull forward. The bloody head then seen bobbing across the ground, skipping like a pebble on water, before reaching the feet of a certain figure who Vegito's words must have been aimed at. As for a moment, the silent skull would come to a halt, unmoving until... in a swift and violent stomp, like Play-Doh, the Ginyu demon's head would be crushed. Scary! As unleashing a truly goblin-like smile, as if enjoying the brutality, Vegito would address the figure, finally saying, "So, you must be the famed Emperor Zuko. Quite a sector you have here. A little too hot for my tastes. I'll be sure to turn the temperature down once it's mine." As finally now revealed, in all his short but wide stature, would be the Demon Emperor of Sector 6, Zuko. As looking down at his fallen subordinate, now a puddle under his feet, all he would let out is, "You did well, Gono. It's a shame you had no idea who it was you were fighting. Perhaps in the next life, I will tell you." Before the demon, now having said his goodbyes, would then focus his attention at Vegito and continue, "As for you, welcome to Sector 6, or should I say, welcome back, Lucif." Lucif! As instantly both Vegito and Yamoshi would then be taken aback by the sudden reference to their now long lost bodily invader, as Yamoshi, thinking more deeply, would question, "Vegito, what is this thing saying?" But before the God Killer could get a word in, Emperor Zuko would interrupt, "Never mind me, just the words of an old man. Besides, it's not my place to reveal something you should have figured out yourself. I shall address you as flesh piles from here on out." Something we should have figured out. But these words from Zuko would only serve to alarm Yamoshi further, as internally he would now think, this demon, he really is saying Lucifer's still here, present in Vegito. No, he's saying Vegito is Lucifer. Why? What reason would he have to lie about that? But Vegito in response would just grin, visibly holding back annoyance, however, for some reason, as veins would protrude from his forehead before he would ominously say, Look, I don't know what gibberish you're saying right now, but you're starting to make my feminine friend over here a little nervous. That name you speak of, Lucifer, I got rid of that clown a while ago. This power you're sensing right now, I can assure you, it's... But before Vegito would even finish his line, to the surprise of both Yamoshi and Zuko, he would completely vanish, with the Emperor himself widening his eyes as he would wonder, his energy, it's gone! What nonsense is this? What? But only for the God Killer to reappear, but this time right in front of Zuko, his palm faced straight towards the body of the Demon Emperor without a word before. It's all mine! As without warning and true bloodlust in his intent, Vegito would unleash a gigantic blast that instantly completely envelops the body of Zuko, his entire existence vanishing in a flash as a massive explosion is seen from afar, would cause even Yamoshi to recoil, grunting, You fool! You didn't have to do that! But alas, in the end, Vegito would be left alone, the remnants of Emperor Zuko now just dust in the air, himself not saying a word more, almost in deep thought. When we would zoom out, below him would still be Yamoshi, who, trying to not think out loud, would then ponder, he's gone. Now neither of us can absorb him. Great. Why would he do that? It's almost like he was trying to silence him. But soon slowly turning his head around with a curious grin, and his blood-red seraphim eyes still on show, Vegito would finally break the silence and say, Well, what are you waiting for? The next sector awaits.
Come, Saiyan.
No! No! That voice! As in a stunning scene, to the absolute shock of Yamoshi and all of us watching, the end of Vegito and Lucifer's connection may not be quite just over. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag rest in peace Akira Toriyama, the greatest manga writer, artist, and more of our time. I really hope to one day have worked for him, to maybe one day have known if he truly had seen my work. As always, the next episode is live on my Patreon. I'll see you there, where I'm giving some more of my thoughts. Cheers.